Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a messages from your person reading. What is it that they want to say to you? What is it that they want to get off their chest? If only they had the courage to do so. With that said, as always, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. For pile 1, we have red jasper, if I am not mistaken. For pile 2, we have sodalite. And for pile 3, we have blue goldstone. Hello, pile 1, my red jasper pile. Let's take a look at what your person wants to say to you. Let's get some messages out here from your person. What is it that they have on their mind in regard to you and in regard to the connection? What is it that they have been wanting to get off of their chest? So pile 1, let's see, what does your person want to say to you? We start out with, I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. I can still feel you. Would you reject me? Being apart has been life-changing for me. And your intensity frightens and allures me all at the same time. So I would say probably for most people, we have somewhat of a history with this person. I am sorry about the glare. There we go. That makes it a little bit better. So I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. I can still feel you. Would you reject me? Being apart has been life-changing for me. And your intensity frightens and allures me all at the same time. Let's get some more messages out here. Ooh, okay, we have, there are still so many unsaid things between us. I just got caught up in the moment. I care too much about what others think right now. I can't give up on my responsibilities right now. And songs are speaking to me. So with that second deck, there's a couple of things that I do want to touch upon here. I think I'm going to get out a messages deck that I made myself, and we'll get a couple more messages from that deck, and then we'll pull some oracle cards for the current energy. But when it comes to the I care too much about what others think right now, a lot of times I see that card jump out when your friends and your family, let's say, or whoever it is that you are close to in your life, they know what this person has done, and this person feels a certain level of awkwardness of returning into your life. I also feel like the first deck was much more apologetic. They want to be back in your life in some regard. They've bettered themselves while they were not in your life. And then the second deck seems to bring up a lot more excuses. You know, they just got caught up in the moment. They care too much about what others think right now. And again, I feel like that's the people that you are close to. The people that are close to you, they know the history between you and this person, and this person knows that. And that's something that makes them wary of returning. Then we have, I can't give up on my responsibilities right now. Like, okay, that's fine. But those songs are speaking to me card, I also want to give a little bit more explanation on. A lot of times I'll see that card when music was something that bonded the both of you. You know, like maybe the two of you used to drive around listening to music together for hours on end. Maybe the two of you like a lot of the same bands, or maybe the two of you would send music back and forth to one another. Usually when that music is speaking to me card, or songs are speaking to me card jumps out, for a lot of us, and of course, take what resonates, leave the rest. It might not resonate with you, but for a lot of us, it's an indication that music was something that bonded the both of you, or there was some type of special bond that the both of you had in regard to music. So I do hope that that makes sense. Okay, let's get a couple more messages cards out here. I feel like you don't even want this anymore. We have, please reach out to me. I really need to know where your head is at. Oh, too many cards flipping around. Too many cards flipping into my lap. I have commitment issues, which for me, I will preface this in saying, of course, for some people, it could be literal commitment issues. It could be that maybe they cheated, or maybe they were talking to other people when it seemed like the two of you were moving forward toward a relationship. And of course, that could be part of the reason why they're nervous, because they know that your friends and family know what they have done to you. However, the commitment issues can also be an indication that this person has a difficult time, or had a difficult time, prioritizing you. It could be that they have difficulty committing their time, effort, and energy to you. And that could be the type of commitment issues. It could also just be in general a fear of commitment without this person ever really having done you very dirty, and it just being that this person has a fear of commitment. So, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, we have could you forgive me? Could we begin again? And let's see if we can get maybe one more card. One more card to join. Ooh, okay, my intentions are pure. Okay, so if they are to come back, or if this person is to waltz back into your life, or they want to rectify things, at least we can rest assured knowing that their intentions are pure. However, it does seem like when it comes to this person, they have a lot of excuses, and I feel like those excuses are mainly based upon the history from the past and some level of nervousness that exists because of that history. You know, whether it's because they know that in some way, shape, or form, they did do you dirty, whether it's they did you dirty by betraying you, or they did you dirty by not prioritizing you. They are a little bit hesitant to come back. I also feel like the I can't give up on my responsibilities right now card can be an indication that this person's not feeling settled or secure within their own life. I feel like this person's scared of rejection. They're scared that they're not good enough for you, and they're scared that for whatever history exists between the two of you, that you would not be able to forgive them. All of these things I feel like are just adding up to this person feeling a bit hesitant when it comes to coming back into your life. I would say that for many of us, we are probably low or no contact with this person. And I would also say there's a couple of different times that this person, you know, like, could you forgive me? We also have, I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. I also feel like for some of us, especially with that, I feel like you don't even want this anymore. It could be a strong indication that you and this person are, what's the word? I feel like there's a strong indication that you might be seeing someone else. Good Lord. Okay, I feel like there's a strong indication here that you yourself might be seeing someone else. And I'm just going to lay these cards across it. So we have here Hammer, Palm Tree, and Passion starting us off. They kind of jumped out one right after the other, but not all at the same time. So the Hammer card, as far as the current energy, the Hammer card to me, followed by the Palm Tree, which is about stability and security, would indicate that somebody has sabotaged the stability and security that once existed within this connection. Based on the messages that came out, I would say that this person, your person, let's say your person of interest, is certainly perhaps the one who has sabotaged certain aspects of this connection. I feel like for some of us, we could have been moving forward towards stability and security. We could have been moving forward toward a more so committed relationship. And then at some point in time, this person either did something or stopped prioritizing you. And that's what caused for the connection to falter, or for there to be some sort of a break within the foundation of the connection. I hope that that makes sense. I feel like with the Passion card, what draws the both of you toward one another, aside from even, like, let's say, aside from the stability and security that you once got from this connection, something that draws the two of you to one another is the chemistry between the both of you. You know, there's this sense with that, you know, that there's this sense with that card also of liking each other equally and having fun. And there was a lot of fun to be had within this connection, let's say. Okay, I feel like the two of you do like one another equally. And I also feel like that could be something, maybe an insecurity that your person has and maybe has had throughout the time of this connection, where because we do get a lot of like the would you reject me, and then the card that's underneath those two cards is something like, I feel like you don't even want this anymore. And perhaps that is an insecurity when it comes to your person, or maybe you had to deal with this person's insecurity in the past, and that's part of y'all's history with one another, is maybe you having to convince this person that you like them, or you're attracted to them, or that you want to be with them just as much as they want to be with you. You know, or vice versa. You very well, especially since this person could very well have commitment issues, and that those commitment issues at times could be a lack of time, effort, and energy on their side of things. Maybe you felt like you were trying to constantly get this person to express to you how it is that they feel about you. And that could have been a major issue within your connection with this person as well. Okay, we have the card out, cassette. I was about to say we have the card outdated thinking, but outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. And then we also have playing the field and trust issues. And again, I feel like the trust issues card is perhaps going to bring up, first and foremost, it'll bring up the commitment issues. And again, as I said at the top, take what resonates, leave the rest. Because here, I feel like we're getting a mixture of both things. You know, like we're getting that this person could have been playing the field still. They could have been making it seem like the two of you were moving forward towards stability and security, and then they just sort of flipped it on its head, and they betrayed you. You know, they betrayed you. They got caught up in the moment with some other person. There is a commitment issue that they feel like they need forgiveness for. They've done you dirty in some way in the past. However, I also feel like for others, it's not so much that, it's more so that this person had difficulty prioritizing you. They have certain outdated thinking when it comes to dating and when it comes to relationships, and they were not participating within this connection in the way that they should have been. You know, like they were not prioritizing you. They were not giving you their time, their effort, or their energy. They could have even been at times like a little, what's the word? Like let's say if this is somebody that was like a fear of commitment, but they weren't necessarily being a player or playing a game with you. This person could have been, like, let's say not committing to you. You know, like they could have been not committing to you, or trying to brush aside the let's move forward to the next step of this, especially if you guys were in some sort of like friends with benefits type of situation with one another. And that was something that made you walk away from this person because of their lack of commitment, or their lack of wanting to commit their time, effort, and energy to you. But overall, too, I feel like when it comes to this person, there has been certain trust issues that have been a problem or have plagued this connection, whether because this person betrayed you in some way, or they were more so of a player, or whether this person was not prioritizing you. That still caused for there to be trust issues between the both of you, because this person wasn't showing up for you in the way that they should have. We have girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Perhaps that's a part of you right now. You know, maybe you are enjoying your singlehood. Maybe you have begun to walk away from connections such as this, including this connection as well, because you no longer wanted to be one of these keys on a ring. You no longer wanted to be one of this person's or one of somebody else's many options. You didn't feel like getting strung along. I feel like for many of us, when it comes to this connection that's being portrayed here, again, we felt like we were being strung along. We felt like this person, I feel like, again, for some of us, the commitment issues could have been a literal fear of commitment. And it's not, of course, I feel like there's 3 different sort of situations that could be going on here. Okay, so there's the fear of commitment, there's this person did you dirty, they cheated on you, they were being a player, or this person was not prioritizing you. For some of us, it could be a combo, literally, of all 3. But I feel like for the most part, each and every one of those little subcategories of pile 1 felt like they were being strung along by this person. You felt like you were being led on in some way. You felt like in certain ways this person was, disrespecting you, or even at times, let's say, making a fool out of you because they, it seemed like it was moving forward towards stability and security. All of a sudden, this person's playing games, or this person's not showing up for you. And I feel like for some of us, it led for us to be like, I might as well be single. I might as well be happy. I might as well be spending time with my friends, spending time with my family, having fun, enjoying my life without feeling like I'm shackled down. And I feel like for some of us, where is that card? It's right under here. I feel like for some of us, like, fuck yeah, we don't want this anymore. Like for some of us, we're like, we don't want this anymore. We don't want to feel this type of way anymore within this connection or any connection. Because who does? Who wants to feel strung along by somebody else? We have cool with whatever, being chill, trusting the process, making decisions, living in the now, casual or no commitment. Again, I feel like for many of us, when it came to this connection, it started off as something casual, but it seemed like it was moving forward towards something much, much, much more than that. And I feel like even when it comes to your person, or I find it interesting when it comes to this whole reading, because I feel like a lot of this current energy brought up like your person and their struggles and or what it is that they do with their life. And then it brought up for you, like you'd rather be happily single or be on your own. You'd rather move on from this connection, or you have been moving on from this connection. Because you don't want to be in this type of connection any longer. Now let's get one more card out here. We also have try me. Okay, not in the mood. The answer is no. Pissed off, on the chopping block, fed up, and things need to change. And I feel like in regard to this connection, I feel like for many of us, I know people get all tiffed off at me, but I feel like for many of us, we have moved on, or we are moving on. This person is not so much welcomed into our life anymore. I feel like for many of us, yes, we would reject them. We don't even want to hear their apologies. They can continue to focus on their responsibilities. They can continue to get caught up in the moment on their own time. But for us, we are enjoying our lives. We are not settling for less than what we deserve, and we don't want to hear from this person. Okay, I feel like that's the vibe for many of us. Of course, not for all of us. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. I feel like as far as the current energy, if the two of you are no or low contact, things will probably continue on that way. And I feel like that's because for us, we don't really want to hear from this person. And I feel like for them, as far as current energy, they sabotaged the connection with you, and they are still on their same bullshit. They're still playing the field. So I hope that makes sense in some way. My pile ones, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, pile 2, my sodalite pile. Let's take a look at what your person has to say to you. What is on their mind? Let's get some messages from your person out here from a couple of decks, and then we will move forward to the current energy of the connection between you both. We have no other compares to you. I can still feel you. I miss you regardless of how things seem. I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. And I can't ignore the signs I am receiving any longer. Very nice, very sweet messages to come through for pile 2. Let's get some messages from the second deck. I feel like for some of us, so this won't necessarily be a no contact reading, because I do feel like for some of us, or even maybe for most of us that pick pile 2, we are in contact with this person. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. We have, you are never far from my mind. Oh, losing a card to the floor. There are still so many unsaid things between us. We have, I'm still trying to find myself. Oh my goodness. It's really hard for me to open up. So I feel like for most of us, this is someone that's just really struggling to let us know how they feel about us. And let's get one last card. You are all I've ever wanted. Very sweet. Good. It's very nice to see that you and this person perhaps are in contact with one another, or at least that's how it seems for most of us. And I feel like when it comes to this person, though, they really are struggling to open up to you. You know, it's hard for them to open up. They're struggling to open up. They don't want to ignore the signs that they're receiving any longer, but it seems like for them, they struggle with expressing their emotions. I also feel like even with that I can still feel you card, a lot of times I'll relate that to sex. So for me, it's like maybe for some of us we have had that type of connection with this person, but I would say maybe for most of us this is someone, I fear emotional intimacy. I would say so. But I feel like for some of us, this could be someone that we're like friends with or acquaintances with that's just really struggling to open up really struggling to open up to us about the way in which that they are feeling. They struggle with emotional intimacy. I feel like that I can still feel you card. If it's not relating to sex, it can be an indication of that you and this person have spent a decent amount of time with one another. And it's like this person can still feel still feel your presence, let's say. Especially if it's not related to having hooked up with this person before. Okay, we have I want to be with you and only with you. Oh. I don't always feel comfortable sharing my feelings, so please know that I do love you. We have I wish I could just tell you how I feel. And we also have I hope you haven't moved on. So I would say that for many of us, this person is someone who we have contact with. I feel like for some of us, this could be someone that, we see quite often. I feel like this is someone that is just really struggling to open up to us. They can't seem to find the right words to say. They fear emotional intimacy. They feel like there's unsaid things between the both of you. It's hard for them to open up, etc., and so on and so forth. Now, I also feel like with that, I'm trying to find myself card. A lot of times what will come up for me Of course, reading dependent or in certain contexts, is that this person might also be a little bit insecure about the place that they're at in life. They might not feel like they have much to offer you, or maybe they didn't feel like they had much to offer you in the past. And now they're struggling to tell you or to express to you how it is that they feel about you. I feel like for perhaps some of us with this, I hope you haven't moved on. In general, this person could just be hoping that there's a chance between the both of you. However, maybe for some of us where there is a little bit more history with this person, or where we have either been with them or hooked up with them in the past, I feel like this person's hoping that the two of you are able to continue to move forward toward a much more committed future with one another. Or I feel like this person's hoping that, you know, you're not moving on or seeing someone else, especially as they work to build up their confidence for something to occur between the both of you. So I hope that that makes sense in some way, my pile twos. Now let's get some oracle cards out here to check into the current energy of the connection. So let's see what's really going on here. We start out with the dragonfly, and the dragonfly says, be lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. And I feel like when it comes to this person, I do feel like they're aware of, I'm going to say, their shortcomings. And I would say their biggest shortcoming is not saying what it is that they need to say when they need to say it. And when it comes to the connection that the two of you share, even right now, it's probably a fun, lighthearted type of connection. I feel like for many of us, you know, we see this person on a somewhat regular basis. This could be somebody that we're friends with, somebody that we've gone to school with, somebody that we work with. It could be an acquaintance, so on and so forth. Whatever the case might be, I feel like the two of you have a little fun, maybe a little tiny itty bit of flirtation, or you might leave conversations with this person thinking to yourself, are they as into me as I'm into them? And I feel like your person absolutely leaves some conversations with you feeling like there's something left unsaid between the both of you. Okay, so I hope that that makes sense. I also feel like the dragonfly is good for what's to come of this connection, because it does highlight things coming to light. And I feel like at some point or another, especially if this is somebody that you've had feelings for and they've had feelings for you for a bit of time, as this reading would imply, that, you know, sooner rather than later, the two of you are going to, or at least one of you is going to, express the way that you feel to the other person. So I hope that that makes sense. Let's move forward. Let's get another couple of cards out here. We have Heart with a Key, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. So even with that, like when it comes to that welcoming love and meeting the one, I feel, and open up your heart, I feel like between the both of you, the both of you are feeling some type of way about the other. Okay, like let's just say the two of you have feelings for one another. The two of you feel like you could be a really good match for one another. The two of you might feel like you, like this person is the one for you. But when it also comes to that getting together, again, I feel like the two of you see one another on a regular basis. You know, the two of you hang out in some way, shape, or form with one another. And of course, the getting together card is going to highlight that, or the Heart with a Key card is going to highlight that the two of you have a good chance of eventually getting together. We have the money issues card. And of course, money issues could be something that plagues either one or both of you. However, I feel like the money issues card goes right into the card that it's actually on top of, that I'm still trying to find myself. I feel like this card, the money issues card, relates back to the fact that this person at times feels a lack of stability and security within their own life right now. And maybe part of that is also you, since it's coming out as the current energy, and the current energy is supposed to be a mixture of you and them. So maybe one or both of you don't feel settled within your own lives right now. I feel like, especially from your person, they don't feel settled within their own life because they are still trying to find themselves. And I feel like when it comes to this person, they want to make sure that when they're coming to you, like if they're finally going to express the way that they are feeling, I feel like they want to come through with an offer that is going to lead toward a secure future between the both of you, a stable and secure future. I feel like this person's trying to get their shit together at the same time that they're trying to get their shit together to confess their feelings, if that makes sense. So I do feel like this person struggles or feels like they're not good enough, or feels like they can't provide for you in the way in which you deserve. And as we are finishing that up, we have not enough. Frustrated in relationship. I don't feel like it's that so much, but a lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear or ego issues, and jealousy. I don't really feel like it's the jealousy. I don't really feel like they're frustrated within this connection. If anything, they're more so frustrated with themselves. But I feel like they are not enough. I feel like they lack in confidence. I feel like they have at times self-sabotaged when it comes to this connection. And I feel like they're very nervous about first of all, I feel like they're nervous about expressing themselves because they struggle with emotional intimacy. But I also feel like they don't feel like they have a good enough offer, let's say, to give you. They feel like, maybe they're just starting out in life, or maybe they've had to start over again in life, and they feel like they wouldn't really have like a solid offer, or you might feel like there's someone that's not going to be able to provide for you. And I feel like that's just an insecurity of theirs. I don't feel like there's anything that you have said or done that has made them feel that way. I feel like that's just how they feel in general. They don't feel settled in their own life, and they don't want to drag you into it, or they don't want to drag you down. We have the coffee cup card, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. So as far as current energy, let's say the two of you are still seeing one another, the two of you are still hanging out, two of you are still grabbing coffee or grabbing drinks together. The friendship within this connection is still something that's going very strong and will continue to go very strong. Obviously, I guess, let's say, as far as the current energy, the two of you are certainly seeing one another, spending time with one another, talking to one another, at least for the most part within this connection, or for my pile twos. So I do hope that makes sense. We have love call. And love call brings up someone expresses love, which is wonderful to see. A message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. So I feel like for, most of us, this has been a struggle for this person. And maybe it has also been a struggle for us, especially if us too, or we too, have been feeling some type of way about this person, but we can't seem to find the right words to say, or we fear emotional intimacy, or it's hard for us to open up. It's been difficult, let's say, for us also to express the way in which we are feeling about this person. However, I do feel like the thinking of you and letting you know could be something that does occur quite often within this connection. It's highly possible that you and this person think of one another, and you let the other person know that, even on a friendship level, even like just as far as some either basic consideration, or even when it comes to things that the two of you know that you enjoy. I feel like it's not outside of the realm of possibility here, where if you hear a certain song, or this person sees a certain actor on TV, or if the two of you are meeting up and this person just went to the grocery store and they know that you love a certain type of donut, that this person would grab it for you, or that you'd mention that you heard the song on the radio, and so on and so forth. It just feels like to me that the two of you have a very close bond already with one another. The two of you are highly considerate of the other person. The both of you do think of one another and let the other person know. Perhaps not all the time, and it's not always very lovey-dovey. But that is certainly something that could be, at least for some of us, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. For some of us, that could be a theme within this connection. And that could be another thing that's allowed for our feelings to really grow for this person, because there's certain things that make us highly compatible. And there's certain things that this person seems to remember about us, and seems to bring up and seems to try to use to cheer us up with, whatever the case might be. I also feel like the love call is a good sign, as yet again, as far as the future of this connection, because to me it's a strong indication that the two of you are going to open up to one another, or begin to open up to one another. We move forward to the exclusive card. And that is absolutely lovely to see. I feel like too, let's say for some of us, we're really not dating other people. And maybe for some of us, we haven't really dated other people or taken dating other people seriously since we've met this person, or vice versa. You know, like they might see a future with us, pile 2, and they are not really seeing other people. But I also feel like this bodes well as far as the future of the connection. Even though it's meant to pick up on the current energy of the connection, I feel like we're getting some future insight here, because it doesn't seem like either one of you have really expressed yourselves yet. But it seems like one or both of you is going to be expressing yourselves very soon into the near future, and that's going to lead toward a commitment with one another. But with that not dating other people thing, I feel like it's highly possible that you and this person are single, have been single. Maybe one or both of you have been single for a hot minute. And I feel like even when it comes to this person, perhaps they haven't really been dating other people, especially since they've met you. And maybe for some of us, it's the same for us as well. And that could be because, you know, like we just haven't had the opportunity to, or that could be because we feel like something's going on within this connection and we want to sort of wait and see what's taking place here before we're moving on to somebody else. We have the talking card, interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, hoovering. But I feel like the most important things on this card are the fact that the two of you are very much so in communication with one another. I feel like the two of you do talk to one another quite often. I feel like there's a friendship here. If not a friendship, some sort of acquaintance. But I feel like the two of you know one another, see one another quite often. And for some of us, or for a lot of us, we could even talk to this person almost every single day. Okay? And I feel like that interested card, and especially the way the card is laid out, interested, conversing more, I look at that as sometimes to mean like they're interested in talking to you more, as well as rather being interested in you in a romantic way. We have the friendship card, which again is going to bring up the friendship between the both of you. True friends, solid friendship, authentic, would do anything for you, always there no matter what. And that final card is the Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. So I feel like the way that we end this is basically the fact that this friendship is going to transition into something much more than just a friendship with one another. I feel like we have very good cards here as far as what it is that the two of you want from the future of this connection. I also feel like we get very good cards here in the sense of, let's say, predictively, what's to come of this connection. I feel like the way that these cards lay out is, you know, it's a very lighthearted, fun sort of friendship connection that's going on right now. The two of you feel like you are meant to be with one another. There are some struggles when it comes to confidence, when it comes to our expressing ourselves, when it comes to feeling settled within our own lives. But we are still talking to this person. We're friends with this person. We're continuing to get closer. And in a way, we're continuing to build up the emotional intimacy between this person and ourselves, but at more so of this friendship level for the time being. The two of you really do seem to be getting closer, and it seems as though someone is going to crack. Things are going to come to light. Someone's going to crack. Someone's going to let the cat out of the bag and express the way in which we are feeling about one another. I feel like that's in the near future, though. But as far as the current energy, we are still very much so in communication with this person. We are still building the friendship with this person, or being friends with this person, because for some of us, I feel like this person could be one of our old friends or oldest friends. For others, it could be somebody that we've become even fast friends with, let's say. But whatever the case might be, we have a very close friendship with this person. It doesn't really matter the length of time that you've been friends with them. And this friendship is going to transition into something more romantic in nature. I really, really hope that this made sense, my pile twos. It was such a lovely little reading to be able to do, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, pile 3, my blue gold stone pile. Let's take a look at what your person wants to say say to you? What is on their mind? What have they not had the courage to say to you out loud? My pile threes. Let's get some cards out here. Let's get some messages. I've never forgotten about you, even though you think I have. Lying was just easier for me than telling you the truth. This sounds like a juicy one, my pile threes. Getting a little juicy over here. Being apart has been life-changing for me. I need more time to figure things out. And no other compares to you. So obviously this is someone that we have a history with. I can't really say right now. I feel like for some of us, maybe we are in contact with this person. Maybe for others, we are not. But there's certainly some type of a history between us and our person of interest, my pile threes. Let's get some more messages out here. And then we will move forward to Oracle cards, where we will go over the current energy of the connection. We have, you are never far from my mind. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my promises. I am really bad at commitment. Karma is a bitch. I finally got mine. And you still take my breath away with your all I've ever wanted at the bottom of the deck. So let's get some additional messages out here from a little deck that I made. I feel like you don't even want this anymore. I feel like that jumped out for either both of the other piles or maybe just one of the other piles. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I was seeing someone else. Good Lord, what the heck is going on here, my pile threes? It hurts to know that you've been seeing someone else. I don't know why, but I just heard the word delusional. And you are in my dreams. A nice light little card to jump out last, mixed with all else that is going on here. So, I'm really interested to see what the current energy is between the both of you. Like I said at the top, I feel like for some of us, we might not be in communication with this person because we have this I've never forgotten about you, even though I have. As well as the being apart has been life-changing for me. We also have, I'm really bad at commitment. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my promises. And the fact that maybe one or both of you are seeing other people or were seeing other people at a certain point in time when the two of you were in contact or when the two of you were maybe trying to do something with one another. Whatever the case might be, I feel like, again, it's kind of mixed here. Some of us may be in contact with this person still, whereas some of us might not be. What's very obvious, though, is that the two of you have a history with one another. So, when it comes to that lying was just easier for me than telling you the truth, it could, of course, have to do with the karma that they deserve. It could have to do with that they were bad at commitment. It could have to do that they were seeing somebody else at the time. But sometimes this card will come through and it will simply be that this person has stronger feelings for you than they're letting on. And that could be a way in which this person lied to you or lied by omission. Maybe they didn't express themselves when they had the chance. And maybe when it comes to this connection, like neither one of you were really expressing yourselves or telling. And I feel like the reason why you weren't expressing yourself is probably because you didn't feel safe or secure enough within the connection to be able to do so. And when it comes to this person, they could just fear emotional intimacy or be bad at expressing themselves. And that could be a reason why they didn't. But I also feel like this person at times could have been or could have given off vibes that they were a bit of a player, especially with that I'm really bad at commitment card, especially since they couldn't follow through with whatever they had promised you. So for me, Anyway, just going back to the card that I was going over, the lying was just easier for me than telling you the truth. Could be because this person, you know, is a player and a betrayer, or it could simply be because this person was not letting you know exactly how it was that they felt about you. It does seem as though there either was time apart or there's been separations that have been or have taken place within this connection that the two of you share. Them needing more time would lead me to believe that this person still perhaps isn't really ready to settle down, at least not at this point in time, but obviously we'll go over the current energy. Or it could be that in the past, during this history that the two of you had with one another, one of the excuses that this person gave for not settling down or not committing was that they needed more time to figure things out. Okay? This person very clearly is attracted to you, very clearly has not gotten over you, has not moved on from you. And we can see that with no other compares. We could see that with you never being far from their mind. We can see that with you still taking their breath away. This person is very much so attracted to you. This person feels very drawn to you. And the fact that you're showing up in this person's dreams too, it just feels like to me like this person thinks a lot about you, has you on their mind a lot, hasn't really moved on yet from this connection. They feel like you don't want this anymore, maybe because you've been seeing someone else, because this person wouldn't commit, so why in the hell would you wait around for this person? Seems as though this person was also seeing someone else. Now, that I don't want you to get the wrong idea in the midst of all these cards would lead me to believe that this person is planning on making some type of a comeback, and they don't want you to get the wrong idea when they do. You know, like perhaps at this point in time they have much purer intentions. Again, we will check the current energy. I want to get some cards out here for the current energy, but I don't want to cover these cards up just yet. But I feel like there's a lot going on here. I feel like there is a history between you and this person. I feel like things never really quite worked out between the both of you at the same time. I feel like this person was unwilling to commit. I feel like this person felt like they weren't ready to commit. And I feel like now this person is somewhat hurt because you've perhaps moved on from the connection. I also feel like for pile 3, this could bring up as far as they were seeing someone else, and maybe you've been seeing someone else, that maybe for one or both of us, we were in relationships, or we had just gotten out of a relationship, or we, you know, moved on and moved into another relationship when this person wasn't really giving us what it is that we want, need, deserve, and desire from a romantic connection. But let's get into it. Let's see the current energy of this connection between you and this person, pile 3. And we have girl with a snake. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable and boundaries. And I feel like for many of us, we perhaps did set some very strong boundaries with this person. I feel like there were perhaps times where we felt charmed or used by this person. And I feel like that's part of the karma that this person now has to struggle with, let's say. You know, that you weren't going to wait around for this person to get their shit together. I feel like that could be a theme here. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Not every single word that comes out of my mouth is going to resonate with every single person. But I feel like that being charmed or used thing is very important when it comes to this connection, because some of us could have felt charmed and some of us could have felt used by this person, and that was part of the reason why things did not work out. Why this person was not committing, why this person now is dealing with their own karma because of the way that they treated you. And I feel like you have had to set some strong boundaries with this person, because in the past you might have enabled them, or you might have enabled their bad behavior. You know, like maybe when the two of you were first getting together, or at the very beginning of this history that the two of you have had, you were very attracted to this person. This person was very attracted to you. This person was saying all the right things, doing all the right things. And we might have overlooked some red flags, let's say, when it comes to this person. But not no more. Now we are setting boundaries with this person. because we know the way that they act. We have Splitsville, leaving quickly and decisively. The relationship is devolving or ending, not keeping in touch, and time alone. And again, that not keeping in touch is going to bring me to, for some of us, we might still be in contact with this person, but for others, it seems as though we are no contact. That's why, and I always leave this open at the beginning of this, because sometimes all three piles will say that you and your person are no contact, and then other times there's piles that, you know, are completely in contact with one another, and then sometimes it's a pile like this where it seems like there's a 50-50 chance, you know, and it's not even like the two of you are in contact with one another every day, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility for you to reach out or for this person to reach out to you for whatever reason. With this Splitsville card, I do feel like maybe for some of us, we felt like this person had ghosted us. Maybe some of our separations from this person was this person ghosting us or sort of doing this disappearing act. And I feel like that could have been another thing that maybe we enabled a couple of times in the beginning. Like, oh, this person, this is just the way that they are. But then we got to a point where we realized, like, this is not normal and this is not right for me. And that could be something that, again, we set boundaries with. We have physical intimacy, which it would lead me to believe that the two of you have perhaps hooked up, or that many of us, let's say, that chose pile 3 have hooked up with this person before. We've been physically intimate with them, or we had a relationship or a connection with them that was more so about physical intimacy than emotional intimacy. That to me would be, you know, maybe this was a situationship, maybe this was a friend with benefits. And for a period of time, this person made it seem as though the two of you were going to move on and move forward toward a more so romantic relationship. Again, that brings me back to this lying was just easier for me than telling you the truth, them being bad at commitment, and now them hopefully finally have gotten their karma. Oop, we lost a card to the floor. It is the camera card. And the camera card, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. I feel like with that card too, well, first of all too, when I see the camera card, for me, a lot of times it'll bring up social media or the fact that this person's like checking up on you, maybe watching your stories, maybe sometimes reaching out to you on social media, liking your pictures, etc., whatever the case might be. However, when it comes to this connection, it seems like there is a history between the both of you. I feel like this person looks back fondly at times on this connection, and I feel like you do too. Like, there's certain aspects of this connection that weren't all trash. There's times where this person seemed to have some bad behaviors, but it's not like every single moment of your connection with this person was them leaving or running away, or was them being bad at commitment, or was them lying, or was them seeing someone else. I feel like there's a lot. I feel like this connection, and why at times it's difficult to let go of this connection, is because of the chemistry that exists between the both of you. I feel like this is the type of connection where there's a fuck ton of chemistry, but it's like neither one of you are or were able to get on the same page at the same time when it came to moving the connection forward. I also feel like the learning from the past would be an indication of this enable/boundaries message that comes through with the girl with the snake card, where at times you might have enabled their behavior, but then you learned, and now you have learned 1000% from the past with this person and from the history that you have with this person, and that's why you have boundaries with them now. And lastly, we have the mirror card. Each mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, and introspection. And I feel like that's totally possible. Oh, and we lost the missed connections card. Oh geez. Okay, sorry, I think I moved the camera around. I am sorry. I'm going to okay. Okay, I think we might be good to go. I kicked the camera trying to pick up the cards. we have missed opportunity, and we also had healing heart right underneath it. And I feel like with the mirroring one another, I feel like that's absolutely a strong possibility here. The two of you mirror feelings for one another. I feel like even at times the two of you were, unfortunately, pile 3, don't shoot the messenger, but we're perhaps running a similar game where when it comes to this person and that the fact that they were seeing someone else, maybe like once you found out or once you felt like they were seeing someone else, once you saw that they were bad at commitment, maybe you were also like, well, if it's good for the, what's that phrase? Like, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, whatever, like, whatever the phrase might be. So you were like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to see someone else too. And we'll both be seeing other people. And maybe that's another way in which the two of you mirrored one another. But anyway, we move forward to missed opportunity. This goes back to what I was just saying before I kicked the camera, before the card jumped out, which is that the two of you never really seem to be on the same page at the same time in regard to this connection. You know, like there's regret from this connection that perhaps the both of you have. Communication is imperative, risk of loss, don't run if it feels right. And I feel like that's part of it too. Like there was such strong chemistry between the both of you in this connection that, you know, for some of us, especially I would say for your person, they would run because there was something about this connection that felt very right. And they are in fact very bad at commitment. With the healing heart card, this is healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. And I feel like when it comes to this connection, there were aspects of it that were certainly toxic. Again, don't shoot the messenger, pile 3. But I feel like there were definitely aspects of this connection that were toxic. I feel like for many of us, this could be a karmic connection. And for me, it's like we've been trying our best to separate or move on from this connection and to heal. We have the hello card, distant, distracted, deep in thought, detached, aloof, not feeling it, find answers in music. I feel like with this card, again, some of us are in contact, some of us are not in contact. And I feel like even those of us that are in contact at times, we're still quite distant from this person physically and emotionally. I also feel like this card can highlight some of what has occurred between us both in the past, where at times this person seemed very detached and aloof, at times maybe even a little bit cold towards us, and that's another thing that made us want to move away from this relationship and focus on ourselves and focus on our own healing. We have the document, and we also have karmic relationship. So with the document card, again, I feel like this is I would say like this connection isn't completely no contact all the time. Although again, for some of us it might be, but for me there's perhaps low contact, or there is, you know, a moderate amount of contact at times, not all the time, between us and this person. And I feel like the document card would sum that up. Like there's times where we might text or DM with this person, but it's not like we're seeing them all day, every day like we used to. And lastly, we have the karmic relationship card, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. And I feel like, yet again, as I was just saying, that this feels very much like a karmic relationship to me, where there is a bit of toxicity, there is a bit of turmoil, there's times where this connection could have gotten volatile or reckless in the way in which the two of you treated one another. But there is a fuck ton of chemistry, and there's very strong romantic feelings, but again, it's like the two of you just can't get on the same page. It's really difficult, let's say, within this connection for both of you to let go of all the other bullshit surrounding surrounding everything, and just let go of it all and love one another and focus on one another. You know, that's very difficult for each of you to do, and it seemed like it was more so difficult for each of you to be able to do at the same time, which is why, for most of us, this connection is one that's remaining to be tumultuous, or one that is remaining to be triggering for us, and it's one in which now we have realized we need to set strong boundaries with this person, because at times this person likes to overstep their boundaries with us. So I hope that makes sense, my pile 3s, in some way, shape, or form. Thank you all so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.